Love, light, and blessings. Shamanic Iraq Priestess here. Welcome to a new episode. I'm feeling very witchy today, guys, of a paranormal series episode. This is my most highly requested, most viewed videos that I make on my channel, and I would love to make them more frequently, but they're very draining to make. I have to do a lot of scripting, trying, stay on topic, see what experiences I want to share and all the things. And I always try to have like a theme to them. So I will try my best to continue to make this series because again, you guys love it so much. So you're going to be having a paranormal episode today, and I'm going to leave off, or I'm going to do this one based on one of the previous ones that I did. I had said that I was going to talk about astral projection, and I kind of never did. I did a paranormal series on my near-death experience, my journey in divination. So it's 2 episodes before the last 2. I want to go to astral projection because I've had several experiences. So it was kind of me trying to narrow it down. I might make a second part because again, I've had so many different astral projection scenarios, and I don't want to make this video too long, right? But before we get started, I gotta pay my bills. So really quickly, if you want to support my channel, please, I'm gonna start doing them on Premiere. I'm gonna have this on Premiere too. Make sure you click the notification so you can know when I download a video. So fastest, easiest, most cheapest way to support my channel is subscribing to it, thumbing up my videos, and also raising the algorithm by commenting. I don't care if you leave an emoji, whatever, just any type of comment helps with the engagement, and also puts it up on the recommendations. So I really need your help with that. Also, you can become a channel member and join at any of the 3 tiers. Click the join button and it will tell you all the different benefits that you can get by becoming a member: exclusive content, readings, book reviews, so many other things. I have learning series and also monthly meetups and so many much more benefits and things like that. It will tell you more specifically. Also, if you want a one-on-one reading with me, shamanic@workpriestess.com, mentorships, classes, or rituals, shamanic@workpriestess.com. All right, now getting back to your paranormal series. This will be episode 7. But I'm continuing on where I left off in episode 5. So today we're going to be talking about astral projection and my different experiences. Just a quick disclaimer: every one of the stories that I share in this video were with the permission of the people that it involves with, as long as I change the names or wasn't too specific, like basically not saying their names out loud. They're okay with me sharing these experiences, okay? Because I always want to have consent. There's a lot of experiences I've had that, clients want me to keep private, and I do, okay? So always know that your information will always be kept private unless you give me the permission to share your story with others. All right, so astral projection, which is the ability to sometimes, when you can astral project, you can time travel. I've done that before. Or you can be in other realities, okay? Or you can literally have your spiritual body go to different places while your physical body is present. So basically, I could be in my house sleeping, but my spirit is in somebody else's house. And a lot of times I've had clients tell me like, hey, I saw you in a dream and you told me to do this, that, and the other. And then the reading they'll get with me resonates with what I told them in my spirit body. So there are times that I don't even know I'm astral projecting, and there's times that I'm aware that I'm astral projecting. So I've been able to astral project to clients. I've been able to astral project to family members and all these things. So I want to share some of those experiences with you. Okay, so there was a time, for those of you that don't know, that I used to read on a psychic hotline. If you know what it is, please don't say for legal reasons, but I used to be a full-time reader on a psychic hotline. And basically, one example that I'm allowed to share, I was doing a reading with someone, and they, it was a love reading. They did all of that, career. And then they were like, I don't know if you're able to answer this. And one thing about me is I'll be honest or not, okay? There are times I can help with this and sometimes I can't. So I kind of just let spirit lead. In this particular experience, I said, okay, I'll be honest if I can help you or not. And it was the first time somebody ever asked me this. So I was, newer into reading professionally and stuff like that. So they were like, hey, my child, okay, specifically their son, was missing for quite a time. I believe anywhere from 1 or 2 years. And they were like, I would like to know where they're at, like, are they alive and stuff like that. So, again, if I can't answer that question or I'm unsure about something, I would have just said no. I said I'm gonna try. So they gave me the child's name. I channeled, and I was like, I do feel like they're alive, and I see them in a cabin. I see them, and I described like a gentleman that I saw the child with. And I remember the client being like, oh my God, that's their dad. And they asked some personal stuff, which I'm not going to get too much into. Why hasn't this child come back to me? And I said it was kind of outside of their control. Long story short, I was like, hey, this is what I got. So I described the whole scenario as much as I can. Like, I couldn't say like they're on 25th Street apartment B or something like that, but I was able to see like this was a wooded area, this, that, and the other. Long story short, she kind of believed me, but then didn't believe me because she had went to other people and gotten scammed and stuff. So time passes, didn't think anything of it. I was like, I don't know if that was accurate or not. I kept telling her, this is the first time somebody asked me, but this is what I'm seeing. Months and months have passed by, maybe 6 months or so. And this person comes back to me. They book me on the website that I used to work on, the hotline. And in the hotline, prior to them booking me for something else, you were able to have a free chat with potential clients before they would take you for a reading. So very similar to like going live on YouTube or, being on Skype or something. Like, you will have people, just anybody, anywhere from the world, go on the website and be able to talk to you. And you can interact with people everywhere. So they pretty much said in front of the audience that was in my specific chat room, hey, such and such, because I had a different name that I used to go by on the website. They helped me find my son. He was in a similar area. I had not heard from their dad in about 2 years. They had a very tumultuous relationship with the ex. And long story short, when she, she's not going to say, hey, I saw a psychic, right? She pretty much said, I think the dad has the child, right? Because the dad had denied it and da-da-da. And that's why I think she didn't believe the vision that I had at first. She had people telling her that the child had passed away. Long story short, the child was where and who they were with, the person I said they were with, and in an area similar to that. The parent was keeping them in a cabin in a wooded area, and stuff of that nature. Because not every kidnapping case makes it onto the media. There are racial factors can be involved. Let's be real. Brown and black people don't always make the news when our children go missing, and things of that nature. So you can have bad spiritual people that can take advantage of a person's going through that. So I'm always going to be grateful that the spirits helped me to find her child. I can't even, and I don't even want to imagine what she was going through for those 2 years. So ever since then, to this day, she is a client of mine. And she doesn't mind me sharing the story as long as I don't say her name or her child's name. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm sharing that with you. But yeah, basically, that's what happened. Okay, I'm not saying that every time somebody asks me, spirit will tell me, but I'm just saying that when they've been very accurate. Okay, so there are people that can have a gift of doing that, and stuff like that. Okay. All right, so that was that case. And again, I was so grateful that, she was able to find her child, and that her child was alive. But I always try to be careful with those types of readings because, look what happened to the girls that were kidnapped by that Cuban guy that, Sylvia Brown told her child had passed away, and the lady lied about broken heart, and it wasn't accurate information. So, I always try to be very careful when I do those types of sessions and things like that. Another experience that I had of astral projecting was there was a mother who came to me, and I always tell people, nothing's 100% accurate. This is what I'm seeing, right? And I always encourage second opinions and stuff like that because, you have to be humble, right? There was a lady, she had a special needs child. I had such a connection with her because I also have two special needs child, but one more in the severe category. I always say my forever roommate, because I'm always gonna have to care for him. Basically, she, could not find her child. Like, her child was a wanderer, and they were like, I need to find this child within a time limit. The police are looking for them. I could relate because I had a wandering child one time that I had to get the police involved, and thank goodness they were found. But so I can relate to her. So I was like, I don't know if this is accurate, but I'm feeling like your child is somewhere. Like, I see a tree, I see a wooded area. This feels to me more like a park. I don't feel like they're too far away from the house. I just feel like the cops aren't looking when they need to be looking. We did that session. She did her thing. And she went herself looking with her partner, with the child's father. And the child was found in she lived by like a state park. And she's like, I'm so glad you told me, because they weren't even deep into that place, but it was kind of far enough from the house that she was like, I don't even know how they got here. The police were looking too much on just very close to the home. So this child had just wandered off. And the child was like, yeah, it was, they were upset and they kind of ran off. And then it was kind of like, then they just got lost. They didn't know how to get back home. They just kept wandering and wandering. So her son was found alive and okay, a little bit exposed to the elements, and stuff like that, but no hypothermia, no long-term medical or anything like that. So, yeah, so I was able to help with that, because when I asked her project, like, I was able to, my spirit was able to see the location, or at least like what the surroundings, the trees, certain significant sites and things. That's what she was able to narrow it down to, more or less where the child was. So, and that was also when I was working on the hotline, very early on, with my calling that I do. I've also been able to astro project where I've gone to the spirit realm. I had, a client, while I was living here. So this was not that long ago. And they just felt like, their prayers were not being heard, and things were very stagnant in their life. Like, literally everything that could go wrong. And they're just like, oh, I've gone to several readers. They were kind of on the newer working with me, and they said I'm cursed. How much do you charge? Because some of them charge so much money. I'm like, but you're not cursed. We went back and forth, back and forth. They were like, no, I'm cursed. I was like, because they booked a specialized reading, I said, I'm gonna channel, right? So I did what I had to do, and I started channeling. And I was like, no, what's going on is your spirits are drowned. That's what we call when the spirits can't hear you. Someone drowned your spirits, but it wasn't somebody that hexed you. It was somebody, that is a church member. And you were very open about, oh, I'm going into this spiritual path. It's why I said the best kind of way to work is secretly. And their spirit guide came to me and was like, she can't hear me. Like, she can't hear me. In the channeling experience, I was able to feel what this particular, so their spirit guide was a blood ancestor. And, like, they told me, like, I took on the spirit and I was talking in the way that their family member would talk. I could see my spirit body in this very dark place. Felt kind of like purgatory, but I don't know if purgatory would be the correct way to identify where I was. It was just this place of darkness and much sadness and intranquility. And this spirit was in pain. This spirit was in pain. And the client said I was like crying, and like I was real crying, and things like that. And so my spirit body went, and I talked to the spirit, and I was like, okay, we're going to undrown you, I had my own family member that was kind of an intercessor and a protector for me. And I asked her, like, what can we do in order to help this ancestor? She allowed me to tell this story today too. So it was like her great grandmother. Like, how can we help to undrown this spirit. And my relative gave me a ritual that we did together. We did kind of like, I would say, a homecoming ritual. So I did La Mesa Blanca, the white altar. So we can say a mediumship session if you want to, but in the tradition of Espiritismo Criollo. So I had my copa, I had my white candle, and we set up a date together. She took her spiritual bath, I took my spiritual bath. We were all dressed in white. And basically, I was able to go into the spiritual realm, and I can see my spirit leaving my body and being where she was. And then in place of me, because I had my guide to keep me safe, they were in my body. I was able to host her ancestor, and the ancestor was able to communicate with her. We performed a ritual where we were able to unbind her. Okay. And the person that prayed for this person to get out of their spiritual path, we were able to bind that person from doing harms with their prayers and their intentions and their thoughts. So we were able to bring back this spirit. And outside of that, we had to do rituals for like 3 weeks, which I did on the behalf of that person. And so within the 3rd week, that spirit came back. I was able to remove all that negative energy, because it wasn't that they were hexed, but because they didn't have their protector spirit. A bunch of malice spirits were haunting the home, was causing, doors to open by themselves, was causing footsteps, was causing nightmares. This person was extremely being spiritually attacked, to the point where there was a spirit that was so malicious that when I was trying to cleanse them during the undrowning process, I remember going up to my spirit room. Was on the 3rd floor. The spirit tried to scare me off by trying to push me down the stairs. It was like this shadowy creature, I would say, was not human. I was able to exorcise it and cast it out of my home. But yes, helping people spiritually can be physically dangerous, and stuff like that. This way we have to have a very strong relationship with our spirits, which I do. So yeah, I was able to help her get back her spirit. But this is why I tell people all the time, we have to start to learn to keep our practices more secretive. It is not always good to tell people too much of what you do spiritually, especially if you have a feeling inside like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say this or that, then you should kind of go with that. You just have to be very careful. People can easily drown your spirits and stuff like that. I can make another video in the future about what drowning a spirit is. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comment section. But yeah, so I was able to undrown her spirit. Yes, I've had spirits try to physically assault me, but I always get rid of them, and things of that nature. But yes, that's what happened. Within that same client too, after that spirit tried to push me down the stairs, it also tried to knock on my door before when I was sleeping. Like you could see the rattling of the door and the growling. It sounded like a wolf creature. But I was able to cast that out. And then after that second experience, that left me alone. It was because that spirit, I sent it back to darkness, and it didn't like that. It knew that we were going to win and prevail, and they were going to have to leave the home because they were targeting a specific child in that home. Okay, so yes, that's why it's important, again, to not divulge or share too much who your protective spirits are. And that ancestor was one of the main spirits that was protecting their home. So they're doing well now. Everybody's okay with that family. And again, I have permission to share that story. Okay. Again, I've been able to, on several occasions, I'll have clients like, oh, you were in my dream. That's also astral projecting. You were in my bedroom. You gave me a warning. So I've had, several experiences like that as well. I want to talk about another experience that I had with astral projection. So I had this client, and I remember I had helped them with a lot of things. They started reading with another reader. And because when I met them, they were going through a lot of misfortune, and I made their luck really good. But sometimes clients get busy, readers get busy. So during the COVID situation, a lot of people were home, and I had a really, really high volume of readings. And also people have to understand, during COVID, the kids were doing school in the house. So it was like I had an influx of new clients, and then also it's kind of hard to do readings when your kids are online. I had a small apartment then, so it's like you can hear me talking. I didn't want people to hear private readings while the teachers are talking to the kids on the tablets and all that. So it was, COVID was a crazy time. But long story short, it kind of limited my availability. Okay. So they were like, I noticed like they'd kind of disappeared, whatever, whatever. And they recently had, came back to me. But let me tell you what happened while they were gone. So one day I was just like having a dream. I dreamt of this person, and spirit showed me like they're two-faced. Like they are connecting with someone that isn't of the best intentions. So I remember, La Madama was like, hey, you need to be careful with this person. Okay, Santa Marta was like, yes, honey. So they came into me in a dream, and they were like, do set and set ritual. So I did set and set ritual. I put protections up. I knew that this person had turned. They were seeing, like the spirits allow me to go into their home, which I've never been to, and see that they had a candle against me. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because I'm on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So my face is everywhere, right? And so I did the ritual that they said, and the spirit's like, watch, you're gonna hear from this person again. So I had heard from this person again, and they admitted to me, I did a candle on you. A reader convinced me that the reason why my luck, was changing was because you were doing stuff, which wasn't that. I don't have time to be hexing y'all people, okay? I got better things to do. And why would I hex you, So, but what happened was, it was the reader they were going to, because this person had open availability. They were around all the time. They were, they were extremely cheap priced, whatever. You get what you pay for, pretty much. And so you got a bargain reader. I call it a bargain bin reader. And what it was, and the spirits had revealed this to me, and then they found out on their own because they had a dream about this person. They were the one that was hexing them so that they kept going to them, but then using me as a scapegoat, because this client had divulged my information. Like, yeah, I read with Shamanic Iraq Priestess. This is her website, right? Pretty much threw me under the bus. Because she was like, you went to somebody and they did blah, blah, blah stuff to you. So they had threw me under the bus. My spirits are so good when I did the ritual that when they had tried to burn a candle against me, and I've had people, candles explode when they try to burn a candle against me. I've been told in my face. This candle caused an unexplainable fire in their spirit room where they lost their home. Like, they literally became homeless. Because they were trying to hex me. And they came to me apologetically and were like, I'm so sorry I did that. I will never do that again. I can't believe that they convinced me of these things. So while they did apologize to me, I have since blocked this person, okay? And I no longer talk to this person because, once you betray me in that way, I don't want anything to do with you. But they learned a lesson that when you walk with the spirits, as my mambo always said, there aren't any problems, right? You don't have problems when you walk with the ancestors. So the spirits protected me. And that's just not me being threatening or whatever. I'm highly protected by my spirits. I do right by them. They do right by me. So this is just a cautionary tale. Be careful with messing with your root workers, because if they're legit, they're always going to have a strong spiritual court that's going to protect them against people that do that type of stuff, because there was no reason for that person to light a candle on me, okay? But yeah, so, and the crazy thing is, when they sent me the pictures about their home, like, it looked exactly like the shrine that I saw in my vision, okay? So yeah, that happened. Yeah, so they, like I said, they had a whole house fire and things of that nature. The last story that I want to share with you is my blood relative. They went missing, and they were missing for a while, maybe a month or more. I hadn't heard from this person, nobody. I remember a relative calling me like such and such is missing, this, that, and the other. And I remember like their sibling had, filed a police report. The mom was hysterical, everything else. But their mother believes in what I do. So they were like, I don't know, can you see? And I remember doing a channeling session. And I was like, this person is with their significant other, their ex. Because I feel like they recently broke up. And they're like, yeah, that's true. I didn't know anything about the breakup. And it was my one of my main family members that I use with channeling, and they were like, she was like, this is where they're at. And my spirits are like, hey, if their sibling goes and looks for them in this place, they're there. And they're like, no, but we sent the police there. They've asked the ex. The ex says they don't know where they're at. And I was like, no, this person is locked in a basement. This person is in darkness. This person has been praying to you, calling out to you. And they started crying because they're like, oh my gosh, I had a vision that my child was crying out to me in a dream, but I couldn't see. The place was dark. And I was like, yeah, they're in a basement. They're being held against their will. And I'm telling you, like, this person had their picture on missing posters. There was a reward out for this person to be found. And I was like, you're going to find this person in exactly 7 days to the date that I'm saying this. So sibling went doing their thing. The mom kept trying to say stuff. They're like, I don't believe in that. I'm Christian. I don't believe in readers. I know that such and such does readings in our family, but that's not what I believe in. They did their church prayers, all the things. Long story short, when they saw that the police weren't helping them, this did not make the news because, again, sometimes racial, ethnic, and economic issues can be variants or variables where they don't really put it on newspapers or local media. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, a lot of missing people don't even get the type of press that certain other groups of privileged individuals get. Let's just be honest with that. So their sibling went to this person's house and they were like, no, they're not there, whatever the case may be. Okay. I prayed to my spirits. I prayed to my ancestors. I was like, you said that they were going to be found in a week. Make it so. Long story short, somehow the roommate of this person contacted their sibling and said, if you want your sibling back, they're at the house. You need to come at this and this time when they're not there. Spirit put empathy into this person that was keeping that secret to contact the sibling. The sibling went at the time the person said to go because the kidnapper wasn't home. And as ancestors at my witness, this person was found in a basement, drugged, and held against their will. So astral projection is real. Astral projection, if used wisely, can really help people. It has been a blessing to me. It has protected me from malicious people doing works against me. It has helped me with foreseeing things. It has helped me with finding missing people. It has helped me with seeing world events. I remember there was this really huge category earthquake that I saw because you can astral project to different times. And I was in the earthquake and I predicted it, and it happened in the actual country and at the magnitude that I saw. So astral projection is 1000% real. If you like this content, paranormal series videos and things of that nature, please support me by subscribing to my channel, commenting in the comment section to raise up the algorithm, and share my videos. Share my videos so I can continue making this type of content. I would love to be a full-time content creator, but I need your support and help in doing that to help me to grow my channel and raise up the algorithm. So please try to get engaged with my videos. I don't care if it's a smiley face. I don't care if it's an emoji. I don't care what it is. Make a comment, say cool, thumbs up, whatever it needs to be. and that raises up the algorithm. The more engagement a video has, the more it's recommended on your YouTube recommendations, okay? And that helps me to grow my channel and be able to make more videos like this. Much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And until the next video, and until the next paranormal series, bye.